I'm representing a company who has developed and is producing chillers. And you think chillers, what about chillers and what about energy or what we're doing here with it? Do you know where chillers are used everywhere? And you need to have it everywhere? I just get my back. You know that this device, when you just press it and do something, that you're creating heat? You know about that? Because this is connected to data centers. And the data centers, of course, they are supplied by electricity. But the most part of the computer performance in the data center is converted into heat. And at the end, it needs to be taken out of the data center to get the data center running. And this is just only a small example. You can also do it with streaming, which is the biggest one. But if you have data centers of 1 megawatt, 2 megawatt, when we were talking about co-location, then we are talking about up to 10 megawatt. And there we are producing more or less 10 megawatt of heat. And we are the chillers, or we are producing chillers who can just take this heat out of the data center. Moreover, cold chains. All the food you are eating today are cooled. They need to be cooled. There's a cold chain from the right beginning, from deep freezing up to the shop where you find it. They need to be cooled. For this you need chillers. Industry, the process cooling in industry, you need chillers to do that. Otherwise it doesn't work. If it is tire industry, plastic industry, automotive industry, whatever you are, you need chillers, you need something to cool it down. And at least air conditioning. This is what you know of, but what you all know, of course. Then you need chillers as well. So chillers are system relevant in the moment. And we have found a solution. We have not invented, but we have a solution for clean water, for clean cooling with water. That's the one, yes. The problem is, in the moment everybody feels that there's a climate change. For whatever reason, there are different explanations, but the climate change. So that means it's getting warmer, so the requirement, the need for refrigeration is even getting higher. So what to do? It's a kind of circle that we are doing in the moment. And the refrigeration is even one of the pollution driver, because the existing chillers in the market are driven by HFCs, by hydrofluorocarbons, in German FKWs, Fluorkohlenwasserstoffe. It was in the past FCKW, Fluorchlorkohlenwasserstoffe, which were even depleting the ozone and so on. So 8% of the global CO2 emissions are caused by refrigeration. This is even more than the complete air traffic around the world. And it's getting more and more. The digitalization is an additional step which is increasing this demand. And 17%, you need to understand this number, 17% of the global energy consumption is caused by refrigeration. You won't believe it. It is like this, and it's even getting more. And if we go against these existing chillers, then we will even fire more into this kind of pollution into the air. Of course, the governments, they have found out, and even the European Union have found out that they need to do something. Maybe somebody knows about the Montreal Protocol in the late 80s, when it was decided to do something against the depletion of the ozone. And there was a Kigali Amendment, it was just a couple of years ago, when it was clear that also in the refrigeration business, they have to direct something against this development. And the European Union did it already in the middle 10 years. Since 2015, we have the so-called F-gas directive, which gives to the government the task to reduce in each country the availability of old refrigerants down to 80% within the next 30 years, until the next 15 years, which you can see even here. So we need to take other refrigerants which are driving the chillers, just to reduce this kind of pollution. And now we are in 21, already 55% should be already, can you see it? Yeah, should be already taken out of the chillers. But I can tell you it's not like this. We are still working with the old ones in the majority. If you look on what can we do in the future to get chillers running, to get the system running, then there are the old ones that we know from the past. These are, what you see here is the CO2 equivalent. And CO2 or carbon is named as 1. That means what you see here is a global warming effect compared to CO2. And it's a lot. And these are the old refrigerants which are still in the market and which are still installed in the moment. The main one are 134A, 410A, and so on. But they will, of course, due to the legislation, they will disappear from the market sooner or later. And there are only a few refrigerants which will remain. And these are the natural refrigerants, which don't have any impact on the environment, which is propane, carbon, ammonia, and water. And if you see at the environmental impacts they have, then you see even the natural refrigerants are not that easy to handle. Propane, flammable, explosive, even if you have it at home in your Weber grill. You have CO2, which is a high pressure refrigerant and not easy to handle. Ammonia, if you breathe it strongly, you will never get up again. And you have water. And water is a really charming refrigerant. It's not available for everything. You cannot freeze systems. You cannot make a deep freezing device with water, but it's a very charming one because it's completely undangerous. There are also some low GWP refrigerants which are now discussed, but they will also disappear because as lower the GWP with the HFC refrigerants, as more they get burnable, flammable, or even toxic. So they will also disappear from the market, in my understanding. In the future, only natural refrigerants will remain, and water is one of the charming ones. And you can see here, in my understanding, in our understanding, which is the best solution for which temperature and which cooling capacities, and everything starting with 12 degrees cold water produced by the chiller, up to 800 kilowatt, everything can be covered by water. For commercial refrigeration, for industrial refrigeration, you can even use the other ones because it cannot be covered by water. And this is the message to you, because water is not only energy efficient, but it has some other wonderful features. It is safe, not flammable, not explosive, not toxic, no global warming potential, no ozone depletion potential, no legal restrictions. That's very important because it makes this life for the operators of chillers much more easier than before. High efficient, the highest, who is familiar with thermodynamics, the highest evaporation enthalpy, or the evaporation heat of water, of a refrigerant is water, with 2,500 kilojoule per kilogram. No certified maintenance needed, oil-free systems. So you would ask me, why doesn't not everybody needs it or buy it? Yeah, because it's new. And we have just found it, we have just bring it into the market 4 years ago. The beauty of it is also very energy effective, and it can bring costs down a lot. We have a free cooling device integrated inside the chiller. And you can see here the savings. These are real numbers from real projects that we have done with the Deutsche Luft- und Raumfahrtzentrum, with DMK, the biggest dairy we have in Germany. And even there we have just dropped the complete energy consumption by 80%. And this is also one of the big advantages. So if you would like to do something against climate change and you would have a contribution to the future, and then you have to work, in my understanding, with these chillers with natural refrigerants. Just examples here. We have here some data center. I think I will speed up now, as I see on the screen. And but we have so many different applications that we can cover. We can even put it into a shelter and make it as a kind of autonomous refrigeration device beside a big data center. So everything, I think, is a good example where you can see that even in your business, maybe it could be of some use. And also, of course, we are not one of the 5 biggest manufacturers of chillers in the world. We are just number whatever. So we are a small company, 70 people in Munich. And the biggest 5 ones, they are making billions of euros, but they're not really following, I would say, the way to climate neutrality. But anyhow, our chillers give the opportunity, if you just substitute the old ones with our ones, that you will even get the amortization time within 1 year. So I think in terms of, one more slide and then I will finish. What are the applications? I told you before, machine cooling, process cooling, air conditioning as well, and data centers, whatever you can do with it. And this is currently in digitalization times our biggest customership we currently have. So if you really would like to work with sustainability in refrigeration systems, in environmental protection, in energy efficiency, future-proof and investment-proof, I'm available for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas. Well, I guess we can just straightforwardly move to the roundtables, I guess, unless, again, there's an urgent question of someone who needs to leave urgently, then please ask directly. Otherwise, let's go to the tables. I'm actually not quite aware which table is what, but I think we will organize, find our ways. There, it's written again. I should have known that. So yeah, and till 6:30 roundabout, when I think you will notice once this wall will be removed at some point that we move to the final stages of our event day. All right, please go to the tables.